Welcome back to Citrus Today. As most of you have heard, or the rumor is, this is Volunteer Appreciation Month all around the United States. And I tell you what, especially in Citrus County, this is a big thing, because volunteering is so important to all segments of our life. But in one area we're going to focus on now is the American Red Cross. And of course, this is one of those things that is a state. We have to have American Red Cross, okay, in good times and in bad times. And but it's rough to do it without those volunteers. So join me in welcoming Eric Pagan, who is heading all of this. You're Director of Communications, right, for not just Citrus County, but for the Mid-Central region.
Mid-Florida region.
Mid-Florida
yes.
region, okay. But you have come over here to recognize your volunteers and say thank you.
Yes.
And they're pretty important to you, huh?
Absolutely. We cannot do the important work that we do without the volunteers. In fact, we have a 98% volunteer workforce, the American Red Cross. So we want to make sure that we spend our donor dollars wisely.
Yes.
And the way to do that is to keep the paid staff low and our volunteer workforce high.
Yeah.
And so the only way we can do that is with so many volunteers. And because everyone has a lot on their plates, so much on their schedules, it's quite a puzzle to put together a group of volunteers with so many different schedules. A lot work full time, and some are taking care of elderly parents. Some are in school, some are in high school, some are in college. And so to put together that crazy puzzle of people with different schedules and backgrounds and that sort of thing, we always need volunteers. Right. There are never enough. There's no such thing. So we really do. We encourage people of all backgrounds, of all different skill sets, of all ages to come and volunteer.
There's always some place that they can help. There's always something going on that matches their skill or their opportunity.
Absolutely. So some of the opportunities I wanted to talk about today to encourage people to volunteer are just the diversity of ways you can get involved with the American Red Cross. And so I think a lot of people expect that when you volunteer with the Red Cross that you have to go on some big deployment to another state or another city.
And a disaster or a tragedy or something like that.
Exactly. And that's not always the case. So much of the way the Red Cross operates now is that we need to keep you local. One, that helps us spend our money better. If we keep Red Crossers in where the local disasters are happening, that helps us spend donor dollars best. Sure. So we're looking to keep you where the disasters are local. So one, we respond in the Mid-Florida region to an average of 3 disasters a day, and few people know that.
Really?
Absolutely.
See, I'm thinking, hurricanes and earthquakes.
And a lot of people think that, but we actually, the #1 disaster we respond to are home fires. And that's either a single family home or an apartment community. And so we have our disaster action team, which is, we call it DAT. And those are the volunteers that get on a schedule. They get trained by Red Cross. You get free training from the Red Cross to go out and help families who've been affected by a home fire. And so you get on a schedule and you get called to be dispatched out to help a family who needs assistance, because when our wonderful first responders, the firefighters, go out to get rid of the fire and keep everybody safe that way, when they pull away,
there's a whole lot
left to be done. And the only organization standing with that family on the curb in their pajamas at 2 o'clock in the morning is the American Red Cross.
I think sometimes we just take that for granted too. I think we always know, and they always say, the American Red Cross is there, and we forget just what it takes, you guys, to do that for us.
Exactly, and we are not a government agency. We are funded by the generosity of the American people. So it is neighbors like you and me who are giving of their time, their talent, and their treasure that makes us be able to be there. So we are standing with that family to make sure, do they have insurance, and have they contacted their insurance company? Do they need something in the interim until the insurance company responds? If they don't have insurance, that's okay. We're there anyway. We will make sure they have a safe place to go that night, that they have financial assistance for food, for clothing, for shoes. Did they lose medications in the fire, and do they need medicine right away? Did they lose prescription glasses that we need to get replaced? So health services is a lot of what we help with, and disaster mental health services. It is emotionally distressing to go through that. And so a lot of our volunteers have a disaster mental health background, and so we're there to help with that as well.
Now you're not gonna throw me in the say here, volunteer and help this person. We get trained, we get direction, we have the support of the American Red Cross showing us how to do this, right?
Exactly, and that's the great part is when you become a Red Cross volunteer, you get this training. And so we are there to stand with families and to help them on that road to recovery so that parents can go back to work the next day, children can go to school the next day, and you can get back to normal as soon as possible.
Now, what other areas, because what if I'm saying, oh, I want to help the Red Cross, but I just don't think I can handle that. What are some of the other things that I can do?
That is a great question because so many folks say that. We need office and administrative support. So if we have retired secretaries who want to come and help, if we have young people who want to come help and they have great computer skills, we need their help as well. We have communications support, so if we have retired journalists or people who want to come and help with public affairs, we absolutely need help with events. We get an average of 6 requests a week to come out and be at health fairs and community events, speaking engagements. Come out and tell us about the Red Cross and disaster preparedness. Come out and get our HOA, prepared. Come out and talk about CPR, first aid, and AED skills. So we always need people for our community outreach group. So we have a diverse
it looks like all ages
myriad.
and just about everything. What about a time commitment? Can I come and tell you what I can only work this amount of time? Or
Absolutely. We have some people who give just a few hours a year to some people who give 40 hours a week because they just love it. They want to be with us all the time. And so we absolutely need, again, it's a puzzle. So we need the people who only give 4 hours a year to the people who give 40 hours a week.
How rewarding, I mean, you must see what it does for these people who volunteer.
It does.
It must be wonderful to help not only the people that need the help, but that feeling that these people are giving.
It is. And so I am leaving straight from this segment to go to a volunteer appreciation luncheon, and we do these during Volunteer Appreciation Month. And so we get to see exactly how these volunteers feel and how much we, the Red Cross, appreciate what they do.
Well, when you're heading out there, please remember to give them our thanks too. Our community is so thankful for those volunteers and thankful for the Red Cross and for you for coming today and sharing this. And we hope you get a lot of response and people can get in touch with you and say, you know what, I want to be a part of that family.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Join us.
Yes. Thank you for joining us today on Citrus Today.